Good evening, lovely friends. Happy Sunday. I hope you have had a really wonderful week. What have you been up to? I'd love to know. What have you been making? That's something else I would like to know. I have had a very different week to what I thought I was going to have. Yes. So we found out on Friday, that we were going to be going into a emergency lockdown because we had a quarantine worker test positive to the UK strain of the virus, and our government wanted to make sure that it wasn't circulating in the community after that person has tested positive and gone home. Yes, so crazy times. So, and I realized that in some parts of the world, having one person test positive is probably not something that to be very concerned about, but here it is. So, yes, so we were in complete lockdown. Everyone was to stay home. Essential businesses were left open. You weren't allowed to leave your house for anything other than exercise. You had to wear a mask, whether you were in a car or going for a walk, even if you were by yourself. So, yes, lots of people got in trouble for not wearing a mask in their car, which, I don't know, it seems silly because when you're by yourself in your car, you're not really going to affect everyone, but I can kind of understand why they've done it too, because they just want everyone to be extra diligent and extra safe. So yeah, so that's been our whole weekend really. Friday was a little bit crazy when they announced it. I didn't go to the shops myself, but from all reports from locals and things, it was insane. People were panic buying, and so because of that, I'm kind of surprised that there's only been just the one case still. Like, we've had no cases that have come up. They've tested thousands of people and there's been no new cases in the last 24 hours, which is amazing. Such a good thing, such a relief, because it means that hopefully restrictions will be lifted again slightly. We did our committee meeting for Guild today and did a bit of forward planning. And yeah, we don't know what we're going to do. Our sow day for Guild is supposed to be next Sunday, so hopefully we can still go ahead and have that. If we can't, we'll just do it on Zoom and that will be okay. We've done that before and it's been fine. But I'm hoping because there's been no new cases, that will be good. So fingers crossed. So luckily I was able to go out a little bit earlier in the week. You saw some footage at the start of the video. That is Lake Mugara or Mugara Dam, whichever one you want to call it. It is lovely. It's probably about an hour and a half from where I am. And yeah, it was so green out there at the moment because we've just had a lot of rain and everything was so green and wonderful. The drive out was gorgeous. Oh, it's amazing. Like, literally all we did was just go for a drive and oh gosh, it's just so refreshing to be out where it's green and spacious. It's just so much nicer than suburbia. Yeah, so that was lovely. I really enjoyed that. And then otherwise, I've done a bit of making, not a lot of finishing, but I've done a bit of making. I did have some finishes. Okay, so let's have a look. So I did finish a couple of mug rugs that needed finishing. This is leftover blocks from the Tilda quilt because I finished the flimsy. And then on the back wall here, there's a couple of spare blocks that I'm probably going to turn into cushions. Hopefully this week I'll be able to do that. But yeah, some mug rugs. They're all different sizes, but you know I love them. So I finished those. The only other finish I had was that I made another project bag, and this has got 2 blocks from that quilt as well, and just some other Tilda fabric, some lace down here, and some Hessian buttons, and it's just been quilted. And then it's got a project that I started in here, and I'll show you that because I've got quite a few works in progress that I can show you that I've been working on. So I made this because I started this. So this is going to be for my mum, just a little shawl, just a very easy 4-row repeat. It is so nice to have something come together really quickly. Crochet is so fast compared to knitting, just so fast. So I've been enjoying that. This is Fiber Lily yarn, and it's DK weight, and it's beautiful. So soft. Oh, it's so soft. So and squishy. I love it. So that's why I made that project bag, and this fits nicely in there. So that's something I've been working on today. I haven't been working on it today, but I started it this week. So that's a new project started this week. Now I have also, I said that I wanted to do a charity quilt. So I've just done, this will be just a jelly roll baby charity quilt that I've done. And yeah, the fabrics are sweet. It's just, oh, they're upside down. There we go. Look at the little, look, she's got a little bow in her hair. Oh, cute. And little bunnies. Cute fabric. I really like the fabric. So that is going to be hopefully quilted this week and added to a pile of charity quilts, because I think we worked out we're going to get the Salvation Army to come to Guild on the February sew day. So I'll quickly whip this one together. And look at the foxes. Look at those sleeping foxes and the little bears. It's really cute fabric. So anyway, I'll get that one finished so we can put that with the charity quilts for the February sew day. And then I've got another one in there that I'm hoping I can quilt up for then as well. So that will be 2 extra ones for charity. And then, all right, how am I going to show you this one? Because it's quite big. Let's move my chair back a bit. So this is the Tilda quilt with its borders on. It's huge. So I used I don't know what it's called actually, this fabric, but it's part of the same range. But yeah, it's gorgeous. I love it. Nice and big. So I'm going to hopefully baste this one up so that I can quilt this one. I'm going to just quilt it on my machine because I want to quilt it this week, and I don't know what's going to happen with lockdown. Because I have got a girlfriend who's got a long arm. So I could plead to quilt it on the long arm, but I actually just want to straight line quilt this one and do it in like a crosshatch and just follow the diamonds. I've got a similar quilt that I've done the same. Well, when I say similar quilt, it does have diamonds, and I crosshatch quilted that one. And honestly, it looks amazing, and it's probably one of my favorites that I've done. So I think I'm going to quilt this one like that because the texture on the other one is so delicious. So that, hopefully, I'll get that quilted this week because my holidays are running out. It's nearly back to school time. So, because I'll be back at school before the kids go back. So the kids go back on the 27th. The 26th is Australia Day, so it's a public holiday. The 25th is a student free day. And we go back the week before that to do all of our professional development days and things like that. So my holidays are nearly done. Nearly done. So what else? What else can I show you? I can show you this. So I haven't pulled this out for a while, but I've been seeing another cross stitch that I want to do, and I can't justify buying the pattern until I've done this one. So I pulled it out again. I've made some slight alterations because I miscounted. So the B is completely the wrong B, but I don't care. I don't care. It's my own take on it. And what else? There was something else. There was something. Oh, I think I fixed it because I stitched this corner all the way square, but it's not supposed to be. So I had to unpick that. And unpicking a cross stitch, it turns out, is easier said than done. Because when you do it, you cross stitch in long lines. Like, well, I do. I don't know if I'm supposed to, but I'll do like a cross one way and then I'll finish the cross going back the other way in a big long strip. So if you want to do just a little section of unpicking, you've got to unpick so much. So whoops-a-daisy, I need to pay more attention. But that's nearly finished. So I've just got the needle of the sewing machine to go, and then the word she up here, and so, which is quite big down here. And then it will be finished. And then I wouldn't feel so guilty if I bought another pattern, because I have actually been really enjoying that. And I haven't ever really done a lot of cross stitch. I've done embroidery, but not really cross stitch, and I've really enjoyed that. I am definitely not neat at all. Yeah, I was watching a video with Laurie Holt because this is her pattern, and I watched a FlossTube YouTube video with her doing some cross stitch, and she is immaculate. So neat. The back of her work could be the front of her work. So neat. I am not that person. I'm not that person. But then this is the first one I've done, I think, since I was like a little kid. I can't think of any other cross stitches I've done, because that's embroidery and that's embroidery. I did this. I wonder if it's here. Oh, yep, it's here. Last year I had a shoulder injury, and it was so terribly painful that I couldn't sew. I could not use my sewing machine. I couldn't lift my arm. I had a very sore wing, and it was really painful. And I missed it so much. Like I didn't know what to do with myself, because I'm not one of those people that can just sit and watch TV. I just can't do it. It's a waste of time. I don't know. If I was to just sit and watch TV and do nothing else, like that's so much time that I could be doing things. So I needed to do something with my hands, and I went to Spotlight, and they had these little tiny cross stitches. It's got a bit of fluff on it. And so I bought that, and it was only cheap, and then I just turned it into a little pin cushion. But that was just a little one. But yeah, I enjoyed that. And actually this is the reason that I bought this pattern, because I thought this was so fun and this would look great on my wall, which it's going to, and it's nearly finished. So hopefully I'll even finish that this week. Oh, fingers crossed, that would be so good. Imagine how many finishes I'll have to show you next week. That would be amazing. Okay, so what else have I been working on today? Today I did some cutting of some squares. I haven't cut everything out yet. I've still got to do all the background squares. But here's a selection of colours and fabrics, all in greens and blues and teals, that I'm going to be using to do the exploding heart quilt. And I'll link that down below because there's actually a sew along going at the moment. And I've put my name down to join into the sew along, but I am notorious for never actually sewing along. I always start with good intentions. I can hear Katie giggling out there. I always start with good intentions, but never finish with everyone else. The freewheeling single girl quilt that I finished last year was actually a sew along that I'd started, I'm pretty sure, the year before that. So it took me like a year more than everyone else to finish. I still got it finished in the end, but I'm notorious for not keeping up with it. What can I say? I don't know, maybe because I fall behind and then I just think, oh, it's too much effort to catch up, and I just don't. I don't know why I do that. But because, I don't know, because I work, I only have so much time that I can do all the things that I want to be able to do. I really just need to win the lottery and then I can retire and sew to my little heart's content. But the trouble is I never buy a ticket, so that's never going to happen. Okay, so that's something I did today. I cut those squares ready. I need to do some background squares as well in 2 different sizes. And then I think next week they're starting to piece the blocks. I don't know if I'll even finish cutting. But I'll give it a red hot go and try my luck. So there's that one. And then I think I'm just about done on things to, oh, hang on, one more thing I can show you. I have been working on sock number 2. So there's my first sock and I'm working on sock number 2, and I've got just one more round of the heel flap to go, and then I can do the next bit, which is the next bit the gusset? I can't remember. But it's looking similar to the other sock, which is good. I probably should have, but I didn't think about it till afterwards. I probably should have made it so that my stripes matched, which I didn't do. Well, they kind of match in that spot, don't they? But then, yeah, they don't really match. But the way I figure it is it's my first pair. And Katie said something to me just a moment ago, actually, when I was working on the heel flap. And I said, oh no, I've made some mistakes in this. I can feel it. Something's gone wrong there. And she said, oh, well, that's okay. You can't tell. It still looks like a sock. And I said, yeah, that's right. It's the first one. And she said, yes, because your first quilt probably wasn't perfect either. And I thought, you know what? It really was ugly, my first quilt. It's really ugly. So she's right. If I had gone by what my first quilt looked like, I would have stopped quilting, which would be such a shame because I love doing it. But my first few quilts, actually, oh gosh, they're dreadful. Just dreadful. My poor mother has one of them in the ugliest fabrics you could possibly imagine. Gosh, I hope she chucks it because it's just so bad. It's so bad. I hand quilted it too because at that point I didn't have a walking foot for my sewing machine. I only had a cheap sewing machine, no walking foot. So I thought, oh, I'll hand quilt it. It's gonna be great, it's gonna be fun. And I enjoyed it, loved making it. So ugly. Oh, it's so ugly. I don't know what I was thinking when I even bought that fabric. There's nothing nice about it, like nothing. But anyway, I guess when you're a mother, anything your kids make's all right, isn't it? But yeah, it was so ugly. So yes, I figure I am going to love these socks. They are not pretty socks. They're too big for starters, like around this part, because I've made them on the bigger size thinking that that's what I'd have to do. But because my tension's not great, the bigger size was completely unnecessary. So I will know for the next ones that I make not to do that. But I'm going to keep making them. So these are vanilla socks. And who are they by? Hang on, let's find out. I just want the socks. Where's the socks? Show me. There we go. So the socks, it's a free pattern and I'll link it down below. This is what I've been making. Mine do not look as lovely as hers. It's the Unapologetic Knitter, my favourite vanilla socks, and her name is Megan Smoltz. So it says that you can get them on Ravelry, but I'm pretty sure I just Googled it and came up with this pattern. So this is what I've been making. And it's pretty easy to follow. So this is written for DPNs, I'm pretty sure. And I've been using a circular, which is pretty straightforward for most of it. The only time I had trouble, no, I didn't. So yeah, it's a pretty good pattern. So that's what these socks are. If you have got any idea of another pattern that would be suitable for a very basic beginner knitter, let me know, because I'd like to have a go at another one. But because I really don't know what I'm doing, oh look, I kind of am getting it. I'm kind of reading my stitches a bit more. But yeah, let me know if you know any other good patterns. Definitely takes a lot longer than crochet though, doesn't it, knitting? So much longer. So what else have I got to share with you? So I've been reading a bit more of my book, Dressmaker's Secret by Rosalie Ham. I'm now up to chapter 6. I'm really enjoying this read. It's kind of just like catching up with an old friend. So I really loved Tilly Dunnage's character in the first book. So it was very easy to pick this up and just, yeah, fall in love with her all over again. So where I'm at now, she is currently working in a dressmaker's shop in Melbourne. And of course she is the best one there, but is completely not appreciated for the work that she does and for her expertise and just her absolute talent. A few old favorites in here. Interesting to see where the old townsfolk are up to and what they're doing. They're definitely grudge holders. So yeah, I'm enjoying this read. If you have not read the first one, go and read it. If you haven't seen the movie, go and see it and then get onto this one, because it's a nice little read. I'm enjoying it very much so. If you've got an excuse to buy yourself a book, this is the one you want to get. So this week, I think, because lockdown is continuing till 6 p.m. tomorrow, Monday. We will find out tomorrow what is going to happen, whether or not we are going to be able to do anything, or who knows what we're doing. I think the public in general is very compliant, because we understand that we are very lucky where we are. You know, that we're concerned about one case, whereas someone said to me today that in the UK it was 1 in 30 or 40 people or something had contracted the illness. And I don't know what it is in America or in Canada, but I'm pretty sure it's more than one case. Well, we have 20 active cases in Queensland. All 20 are in hospital that we're aware of, and they are doing thousands of tests a day. So everyone is very conscious of how lucky we are, and I think everyone is happy to rule out any risk of things getting worse, because it's important for our economy to make sure that we knuckle down and get this sorted now so that it doesn't affect us too much, you know? It's such a terrible thing. It's just terrible. There's an Australian comedian who used to do ABC Kids TV shows. And he does this little comic act. I'm actually going to link it in the description box. This little comic act. And I think he's up to part 8. Meanwhile in Australia during COVID or something. So I'll have to link them because they're quite funny. And he, of course, did a new one with the latest outburst in Queensland. So it's kind of, he does a bit of a state-by-state rivalry. It's pretty, I enjoy it. It's pretty funny. I don't know if it'd be funny for non-Australians. I don't know. But it's funny for us. So yes, so next week will be different, because I had plans for Monday, plans for Tuesday, working Wednesday, which was cancelled, working Thursday, which is at the moment still there, not cancelled. So depending on what the restrictions are will depend on how that shift goes. So Monday now is going to be a basting day, I think. I'd like to get a quilt basted. I think it'll depend on how much energy I have, because I know if I baste that tilde quilt, I will want to quilt it straight away, and it's going to take a very long time. And then if I baste the charity quilts, they'll take less time because I won't quilt them as heavily, so they'll be quick finishes. And then I'll have some yummy binding to do, which is one of my favorite things, to sit on the couch and do my binding while I'm watching TV. Because like I said, I can't just sit there and watch TV. I have to be doing something with my hands. So it was always crochet. Now it's either crochet or knitting or binding or hexies or just something with my hands. Even if it's sitting there on my phone, I cannot just watch TV. I don't know what's wrong with me. I really don't. I just can't do it. It's either that or I'll sit there and I'll nibble on cheese and crackers, which is probably not the best, especially not at the moment, because I feel like I need to snap my body out of this snacking business. It's still in Christmas mode and I need to snap out of that, because it's not Christmas anymore. Although we don't have a lot of Christmas food left in the house now, so it's we're back to almost normal. So yes, that's what I want to do during the week, and I really want to try to finish that cross stitch, and I really want to try to finish that sock so that I'll have a pair. We'll see how I go. That's a lot of things that I want to try to finish, isn't it? I also want to cut out the squares for the exploding heart quilt, because I really like that. It's going to be a really nice one, I think. And it's all in lovely teals and greens and blues, which are my favourite colours. Probably not as much green as what I would normally want in it, but because I just was going from my stash, I think I was a bit protective of my green fabrics. I don't know. These ones or the ones I put in it. So not as much green as what I would have thought was going to be in it, but that's okay. It will still look very nice, hopefully. Okay, so I think that is it for me for today. I think that's it. I can't think of anything else that I need to say. As soon as I finish this and start editing, there'll be 10 things that I wanted to tell you that I'll think about, and it'll be too late. So I'll say that I want to say them tomorrow, and I'll probably forget about them then too. That's okay. All right, let's call it a night, and I will see you again next week with what I've been working on. I'd love to hear about what you're working on. I really would. Or if you follow me on Instagram, you can tag me in what you're working on. I'd love to have a look. But otherwise, yeah, just let me know. I'm a bit nosy too. So yeah, I'd love to know what you're busy doing during, if you're still on holidays. Some of you might still be on holidays. Some of you might also be in lockdown. Hopefully I won't be next week, but we'll see. We'll see how we go. It's been a while since I've been in a lockdown, so I don't know. We'll see. But in the meantime, keep yourselves well and happy and safe. Make lots of beautiful things. Surround yourself by beautiful things. It's amazing how therapeutic a little bit of making can be. So I will see you again next Sunday. Bye.